Hi, everybody. So this is really exciting. We are here to talk about my ranking for this week, what films were added to the ranking, and how things got moved around and changed. This is something I do every week to give you guys an idea of where things land instead of just an end of the year top 10 kind of list. So I think this would be really fun. Last week, my top 10 was Step, Wonder Woman at number 2, The Big Sick at number 3, A Silent Voice at number 4, The Girl Without Hands at number 5, Personal Shopper at number 6, Get Out at number 7, Dunkirk at number 8, Bahubali 2, The Conclusion at number 9, and Detroit at number 10. Bottom last week was Lady Macbeth at 10, King Arthur at 9, Gifted at 8, The Circle at 7, Transformer The Last Night at 6, The Dark Tower at 5, The Emoji Movie at 4, Spark, A Space Tale at 3, Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania at number 2, and The Glass Castle at number 1. So let me tell you a little bit about one thing I decided to change this week. This is why I like to do this, because I'm constantly sort of changing my list, moving things around, and I just think it's kind of fun. So I decided to eliminate all of the direct-to-DVD films from my list. I'm still going to include them in my animation ranking, and so I'll kind of talk about it there. But I decided to take out Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania off of my list, and also the Intergalactic games, Superhero Girls. I think those were the two that were direct to DVD that I had on the list. And so, yeah, that's what I decided to do. And let me know what you think about that. If you think it should be included or not. I decided not to include it. So that's going to change my list this week. I also saw War for the Planet of the Apes again this week, and I saw it's one I've really struggled with in my ranking. And, I actually liked it a lot more this second time because it wasn't at the end of a marathon, which the first time was. I was pretty stressed out with getting ready for D23 the next day, and I was really moved by it. I think it's a really beautiful Exodus kind of story, and yeah, it is brutal, but I don't know, it wasn't as harsh on the rewatch as it was on the first time for me. And I really think it's a great film. So you're going to see some things with that. So and I totally get why it's not for everybody. I think that makes a ton of sense. First one was Logan Lucky. And I thought that Logan Lucky was hilarious. It made me laugh really hard. And that's got to count for something. I just thought they totally got sort of that redneck spirit right. I was just laughing my head off throughout. I grew up in that kind of small town environment. And so it's just something I really relate to. And I thought it was great. Other people are like, yeah, it was fine. I was much more enthusiastic about it than it seems like most people. So Logan Lucky, it ends up coming in at number 12 in my ranking. It's right in between Detroit at 11 and The Good Postman at 13. So pretty high up. It's one of my highest ranked comedies. The only higher comedy that I have on my ranking is The Big Sick at 3. So did very well. I really, really thought it was funny. The only thing that brings it down is that there's a natural place where they could have ended it, but then they go on another 20 minutes or so with this Hilary Swank character and this investigation. That didn't work. So that's the only real problem I have with it. Otherwise, I thought it was so funny. Okay, so then the next film we're going to talk about is Book of Henri. This is one I'd heard about, so I decided to give it a watch. And this is one of the best comedies of 2017. This movie is nutty. It is so bizarre. I don't know what anyone was thinking when they greenlit this. It's like painted in all these sort of pastel colors and warmth and everything, and yet the story is like really, really bizarre. And they're gonna murder people, and this kid gets a tumor out of nowhere, and there's so many nutty things about this movie that there's nothing sort of more funny than like a bad movie that is incredibly like sincere and takes itself very seriously, because I don't think the movies like Sharknado and stuff are really that funny because they're like trying to be so bad it's good. I think Book of Henry is way more entertaining on that front, because it's trying to be so good and it's so bad. That's what makes it funny. So it's enjoyable to watch. You got to see it. But it's a terrible film. Really bad. It's just a complete tonal mess. You're just like, what am I watching? It was just the story. There's like a million of these weird subplots, and like there were just pretty much every line of dialogue. I was just kind of like, that's a weird thing to say. Why did they say that? And like every choice the characters make, it was like, that's a weird choice. Why did they do that? It's really bad. So Book of Henry, it comes in at number 82 on my list, just after The Circle and before Transformers: The Last Night in my list. But it's highly entertainingly bad. So there you go. You got to check out The Book of Henry. Then the next film that I saw that was new, I saw Brigsby Bear. And this was really fun because it was filmed like right where I live. Like I've been to pretty much everywhere that's filmed in this movie. So that was kind of fun. There's a theater that is featured in the last like 10 minutes. And I go to that theater all the time. Another theater that they feature that him and his dad go to, I go there for almost all the screenings. So that was just sort of fun. But aside from that, it's actually a really sweet little movie about this kid. It's kind of has darkness in it, but it's handled in a very sweet way, about this kid who is abducted, and his parents, played by Mark Hamill, the dad played by Mark Hamill, create this whole TV show called Brigsby Bear. Well, he grows up to be 25, and he ends up getting rescued, I guess, and he has to sort of figure out this new life with his new family, with his original family, and he is like his whole life had been this TV show that his dad had made for him. Anyway, it sounds depressing, but it's actually not. It's actually really sweet, and it's one of those movies. It kind of reminded me of Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, but I think I actually prefer this to that because this doesn't have the unreliable narrator that had, and in this, everyone's way more likable than in Me, Earl. I mean, I still like that film fine, but the way that Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl had sort of this love of film and the love of sort of creating film and how the creative process can kind of save you. And so I think that has sort of the same theme here with Brigsby Bear. And it was very sweet. If you just want to see a very affectionate, heartwarming movie, then Brigsby Bear is one I'd recommend. So it came in my ranking at number 24. It is right after Everything, and right before the Lego Batman movie. So at number 24. So pretty high. And so yeah, you can see where I live if you watch Brigsby Bear. That I saw is the comedy How to Be a Latin Lover. This movie stars Eugenio Derbez as this sort of ladies' man, and he is trying to woo rich women to basically take care of him. He thinks he's all suave and everything. And then Salma Hayek plays his sister. Rob Lowe is another kind of guy who's trying to get to the rich women. Kristen Bell owns this is the manager of this furlough store, who has this obsession with cats. Michael Cera's in it. Raquel Welch. So it has this cast, and there's lots of cameos and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's just not that funny. I just didn't laugh very much. I think really the only thing going for it is Salma Hayek is great. And it really feels like there's certain movies where you can just say that person is a movie star. It's like not a great movie, but she just has so much charisma, and she's actually funny. And I thought that the romance that she's involved in was actually really sweet and well done. And I wish the movie had been about her and her son and this romance. I think that would have worked much better. And she just was great, I think. And so that's what sort of saves the movie. It ends up in my ranking at number 72. It's just after The Fate of the Furious at 71 and just before The Zookeeper's Wife at 73. So it's definitely, it's a frown for me, but I said I did like Salma Hayek, so that raised it a little bit above the complete bottom of the barrel. So that's where it is. My new top 10, it's changed around because I changed War for the Planet of the Apes around. So my new top 10 for this week is number 1 is Step. Number 2 is Wonder Woman. Number 3 is The Big Sick. Number 4 is A Silent Voice. Number 5 is The Girl Without Hands. Number 6 is Personal Shopper. Number 7 is War for the Planet of the Apes. Number 8 is Get Out. Number 9 is Dunkirk. And number 10 is Bahubali 2, The Conclusion. I want to keep that in there as long as I can. I thought that movie was so fun. So it's a number 10. And then my bottom list, because I took out Surf's Up 2, my bottom list is at number 10, I have King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword. Number 9, Lady Macbeth. Number 8, Gifted. Number 7, The Circle. Number 6, The Book of Henry. Number 5, Transformers: The Last Knight. Number 4, The Dark Tower. Number 3, The Emoji Movie. Number 2, Spark: A Space Tale. And number 1 is The Glass Castle. That's the worst movie I've seen in 2017. So that's my best and worst as of this moment. And so tune in next week on next Wednesday, where I will let you know what how the list has changed and what's been added and taken away from it. So that should be really fun. And let me know what you think of my ranking and of these films. If you've gotten to see them or if you've heard about them, let me know. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!